The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Milwaukee Bucks playing against...
Oh, say does that...
It's an Eastern Conference bet, and David Aldridge. Thanks so much, David. Now, Brent, we're far enough into the season where certain rookies are starting to hit the wall. What can coaches do to stop that process or help them through that process of that rookie, that so-called rookie wall?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, Kevin, there's not much a coach can do for a player. And I'll tell you, I've seen it where years a player after 41 games is gassed. And certainly over the course of the past few years, I've seen plenty of rookies not be phased at all. So it just depends on the makeup of the guy and what he's been asked to do. I don't know that there's too much a coach can really get into the head of a player on, other than trying to keep him confident.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Hood and Ingles filling out the perimeter. Julius Randle is out there with Whiteside, and it's Wall in at the point guard. Now here's Hood. That three off target had some space there after the little pump fake. It's Harden with the drive. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And you got to enjoy watching Harden down low, doing whatever he wants in the paint.
And Wall kicks to Whiteside. Whiteside a screen. Back to Hood. Whiteside sets the pick for Hood. He dishes it to Ingles. 6 to shoot. Dives for it, and a miss there on the triple.
Yeah, a little surprised he missed that one so badly. The defense was nowhere to be found.
In the corner, Harden. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Yeah, just constantly attacking the paint. Harden does not settle. And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
And Whiteside gobbles up the close-range opportunities at the basket like he did there.
Here's Harden. Shot is good off the bad rim and in. Harden's got 6.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
This is also one of those things where you start to think about how you're going to change your defense already. If at all possible, make someone else beat you.
Now here's Hood. Shoots from 12. That shot no good. The Bucks have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Here's Thomas. No good off the back of the rim.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
And Wall kicks to Whiteside. Over Parsons. Whiteside, no good. So for the Jazz, their last game, a win against the Golden State Warriors.
And you know what? Up against a weak defense, they were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted.
Yeah, what I like, though, besides that, is that they just didn't settle for it, because weak defenses, you could take bad shots. That's not what they did here tonight.
The kick out to Wall. Knocks down the 3 ball.
When the guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
Harden kicks to Valanciunas. Back to Harden. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
And both free throws good for James Harden. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years, where he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity, garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
Here's Valanciunas. Misses from close range.
Well, the D did their job there. Excellent contest to alter the close ranger.
And here's Wall. Against Golden State, he was really on his game. There's a screen. Shot off the screen. Jump shot is good that time. Wall's got 5.
And the tight defense there only seems to increase Wall's focus. Gives him a little extra lift on the jumper.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Utah out in front, leading by a point. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the 2nd quarter of play. The Bucks trail. And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the 2nd quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Jazz, Hood and Ingles filling out the perimeter. Whiteside is out there with Randall, and it's Wall in at the 5. On the clock, and there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the shot.
So it's Utah now. It's off to Charlotte for him after this game as they take on the Hornets. That will be their 2nd of this 5-game road trip. Whiteside kicks to Wall. Whiteside a screen. Nice ball movement by Utah. Wall against Harden. Wall, no luck. Brent, some incredible players have put on the jersey for the Bucks in their storied history. You have a favorite Bucks player who you always appreciated watching?
Well, I'll name 3, Kevin. First, Jack Sikma. Second, Sidney Moncrief. And third, Terry Cummings. Those were some of the more incredible offensive teams during the 1980s that do not get enough credit.
Utah shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one. And the first one drops.
Yeah, easy to appreciate Wall, an all-star caliber talent who just fills up the stat sheet.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Right, you've certainly been in the public eye for a while as a player, as a broadcaster, an actor in the Jerry Maguire movie. Is there anything else on...
So kind of you, Kevin, to bring that up.
I'm just reading the list here, Brent. Is there anything else on camera that you'd really like to do?
Oh, I was in a Coolio video. I don't know if you knew that, Kevin. Coolio made a music video, and I was asked to come down to the studio with the late Malik Sealy, and him and I actually were in the video for the movie's primetime song.
No kidding.
Yes.
How about that? How fun. Passes it to Whiteside. Over Parsons. Connects on the foul line jumper. Whiteside's got the lead. Back up to 2 now for the Jazz.
Nice to see Whiteside expanding his range a little bit. Imagine a guy that big being able to step out and knock down mid-range jumpers.
Here's Valanciunas. A second chance effort, and the layup is good.
Like the physicality there on the glass on full display. Great at hitting the boards and then capitalizing off the second chance opportunity.
To the paint. Randall. Nice persistence to tip it back up and in.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Man's a screen on Hood. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Julius Randle picks one up.
Yeah, easy call.
Milwaukee shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And the Utah Jazz back in 2014, the worst defensive team in the league by points per possession. Greg, it's been a dramatic turnaround.
One of the premier defensive teams now in our league in terms of their imposing paint presence. Not a team that gambles for steals or deflections. They keep you in front and force you to play over the top.
Whiteside, a screen on Parsons. Here's Wall. Rebound, Milwaukee.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
And sometimes when you're pushing the action, you can see some great teamwork, and then all of a sudden the individuals on your team can take over. All of that here tonight.
And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for Utah.
And they were focused on spreading the floor and getting good looks from three-point range. That was the key to their offense. They put in a lot of work on the perimeter.
That free throw, no good.
When the Bucks ownership changed just a few years back, you could feel that there was a change for the direction of this basketball club, and they're much more focused on building from the draft, taking a lot of young players that have tremendous potential and seeing where they can go. They're doing everything they can to make this a great free agent destination. The new arena will help that.
Ingles in the corner from past the arc. Larry Nance comes up with the rebound. The Bucks have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. And Valanciunas kicks to Harden. And the Bucks miss again. And with the Bucks in this current ownership approach, you can really see it off the court as well. They've done a great job of reaching out to the community.
Love the investment that they've made in the team. The new downtown arena is coming along. The rebrand looks awesome. I love the new logo and the color scheme that they play with and the court. A lot of attention to the details, and they've put together a pretty exciting young roster. That's the most important part.
Harden missing again. Jazz have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Harden against Ingles. Dishes it to Whiteside. A stupendous finish in traffic. And now it's a 3-point Jazz lead.
Wonderful use of the pick and roll, especially by Whiteside, slashing right to the bucket and getting that one to go.
And so it's a... Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Ernie
Show.
Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. And that's all we can do.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. And so it's Milwaukee now. They trail by 3. This their first chance this season playing the Jazz. They've got Jonas Valanciunas, Isaiah Thomas out there with Harden. Then there's Larry Nance. And it's Parsons in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Clock at 6. Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
All with it. 6 points for him. Shoots from the baseline, and too long on the shot.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Harden dishes to Nance. Pass to Thomas. The feed to Harden. Nance a screen on Wall. Harden kicks to Thomas. Lets the 3 fly. Headshot off. And Utah the other way now. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. And the jam by Whiteside.
Well, I would say that's as high percentage as you're going to get from Hassan Whiteside. He really takes off on those dunks.
And Rodney Hood played 1 season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
Whiteside sets the pick for Wall. The pass to Whiteside. From about 19 feet. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession.
And taking a look now at stats for Isaiah Thomas. How his last 10 games have gone. First in free throw percentage, 8th in steals, and his playmaking ability, unquestioned, one of the top 15 assist men in our league.
And it's nice when you have the NBA's best free throw shooter just keep the ball in his hands in clutch situations. He's been completely automatic this season. And the basket by Ingles. Bucks trail by 3. Harden the pass to Nance. Parsons against Whiteside. And Parsons kicks to Valanciunas. Over Ingles. No good from Valanciunas. Jazz have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Inside, here's Randall. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. And it's a 5-point Jazz lead. Milwaukee has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Nance a screen. Thomas dishes to Harden. Offline with his 3. Jazz leading by 5. Outside, Wall. Right side a screen. Ingles in the corner. To the paint. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Now with Whiteside, no matter what he is doing, he is always setting the tone. The way he goes about defending the rim, it's like he's taking it personally that these guys are not going to score on him.
And you know what? He's a tone setter defensively. He gives his group confidence when he's on the floor. And, you know, teams are starting to realize you simply do not go at Whiteside. The block numbers might be down, but his defensive impact is as high as ever.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Whiteside sends it back.
Well, those kind of shots should come with a warning label. Caution, Hassan Whiteside is around. He's simply one of the best shot blockers in the league.
Oh, great ball movement there.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Thomas kicks to Harden. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Harden's got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, he's been carrying them all night on offense, but at some point, he's going to need some help.
Outside, Wall. Good D by Harden. The third quarter comes to a close. Jazz out in front, up 7. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Coach Quinn Snyder.
Our activity defensively has been great.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. 2K Sports, happy to have you with us. Jazz leading by 7. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Hood and Ingles filling out the perimeter. Randall out there with Whiteside, and it's Wall in at the point guard position. The Bucks shooting about 42% so far. Wall against Harden. Pass to Parsons. Now the dish to Valanciunas. Tries it from 19. Hits the front of the rim and out. Utah shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Hood the pass to Wall. Whiteside kicks to Ingles. Nice ball movement by Utah. Whiteside a screen. The kick out to Wall. The offensive rebound. Tries again. Whiteside, good. Whiteside's got the lead up to 9 now for the Jazz.
He's having a night right now. Credit to the shooting touch, helping his team with the lead.
Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Harden, no good.
I still love the shot selection. The defense wasn't really a factor. You need to be more aggressive guarding the mid-range.
Wall, good. Brent, we've seen coaches that yell. You've seen some that show no emotion and everything in between. In your opinion, what's the perfect mental makeup for an NBA coach?
I don't think, Kevin, there's any exact science to what coaching can be. And I think the best coaches just have an innate ability to know when to push buttons, how to push buttons, and to do it on an individual level. There are many times that a coach can make the biggest impact with his player, Kevin, taking him aside and having conversations rather than doing everything in front of the team. And I think the best coaches have a pulse of each player on their team and take the time to go and do that.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, during that last timeout, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what the head coach of the Bucks said to his team. And he tried to pep them up. He said, look, nobody said this was going to be a cakewalk. We knew they weren't going to back down or go away. So if we want this game, we got to take it from them. A lot of fire from Coach during that speech, Kevin.
And we're seeing more athletes use cross-training to improve their strength and conditioning. Back in the day, did you play any sports outside of basketball to improve your results?
Kevin, if I asked you if surfing helped my basketball, would you say yes?
Well, in your regard, I would say yes. It did help balance, right?
Yes.
What about that?
Hey, I should have surfed a lot more than Kevin.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. He feeds it to Whiteside. Outside Hood. Whiteside kicks to Ingles. Whiteside sets the pick for Ingles. The putback. Harden grabs the miss. Harden's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Parsons right side. And finished off by Parsons.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
Wall up top, guarded by Harden. A nice shot by Wall.
And just the overall aggressiveness. Wall enjoys taking on a challenge and succeeding, especially when the D is all over.
It's Harden with the drive. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 7.
2 shots.
And both free throws good for James Harden.
And good aggressive basketball in that trip. Drawing the foul, converting the free throws, and then also narrowing the gap.
And Wall, here we go now. Add another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11. Thomas against Hood. Here's the floater. Thomas, no good. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
Whiteside sets the pick for Hood. Here's Randall. Nance with some nice D.
It'd take a miracle at this point.
Right, with this deficit and this late in the game, their time has already passed.
Harden kicks to Nance. Thomas a screen. From deep three-point range, that doesn't go either for Thomas. Now here's Hood. And so it's Utah with the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.